It began with a stare. Not a glare, not even a look of disdain, just the kind of stare that lingers half a second too long, enough to make you wonder if you've been seen for who you really are. That's how Marcus first noticed Adler. The man didn't talk much, but when he did, people listened, not because of charm, not because of rank, but because he seemed to carry some invisible gravity, a silent authority that bent the air around him. Marcus was 32, a mid-level analyst in a corporate labyrinth built on ambition. He'd read Nietzsche in college, underlining passages about will and power, never really understanding them. But in Adler, he began to see what Nietzsche meant. The Übermensch wasn't about morality or goodness. It was about transcending it. Adler didn't play by the rules. When a project went wrong, he didn't look for someone to blame. He looked for opportunity. When a colleague hesitated, he filled the silence with confidence. And when Marcus tried to challenge him once in a meeting, Adler smiled, a soft, deliberate smile, and said, "You mistake kindness for weakness. That's your first error." That moment haunted Marcus. It wasn't just the words, it was the way Adler said them. Calm. Controlled. Like a surgeon dissecting his mind. That night, Marcus lay awake, scrolling through Nietzsche quotes on his phone. He who fights with monsters should be careful lest he thereby become a monster. He wondered if Adler had already crossed that line, or if he had simply accepted that the lying didn't matter. Weeks passed. Adler's influence grew. His presence infected the team. People began imitating him without realizing the cadence of their voices, the bluntness of their words. He created a culture of quiet fear disguised as high performance. Marcus hated it. But part of him, a dark, honest part, admired it. Adler got results. While others negotiated and compromised, he conquered. Then came the merger. Chaos. Fear. Everyone scrambling to secure their place. Marcus was told his department might be downsized. He stayed late every night, trying to prove his worth. One evening, Adler found him in the empty office, eyes burning from the glow of his laptop. "You work hard," Adler said, setting his coffee on Marcus's desk. "But that's not what they reward." Marcus frowned. "Then what do they reward?" Adler leaned closer. "Decisiveness. Ruthlessness. The ability to act while others hesitate." He paused. "Do you want to survive, Marcus? Or do you want to win?" The question hit him like a confession. He didn't answer. But something inside shifted, a small click of understanding that frightened him. Over the next month, Marcus began to change. Subtly at first. He spoke less, observed more. He stopped trying to please everyone. When a coworker took credit for his idea, he didn't argue, he waited, and when the moment was right, he quietly redirected credit in a meeting, surgical and precise. It worked. People started listening differently. He felt power, not in position, but in presence. The same quiet gravity Adler had. He began to see people as patterns, predictable, fragile, emotional. It was intoxicating and repulsive at the same time. He told himself it was just strategy, but he knew it was more than that. It was evolution. One day, Adler invited him to lunch. A rare gesture. They sat in a dim corner of a high-rise restaurant, the city sprawling below them like circuitry. Adler studied him between sips of wine. "You've changed," he said. "I see it in your eyes." Marcus smiled faintly. "Maybe I'm just learning." Adler nodded, pleased. "Good. Then remember this, morality is a leash invented by the weak. Don't apologize for strength." That line echoed for days. It made Marcus uneasy, not because it was wrong, but because it felt true. Yet late at night, staring at his reflection in the dark office window, he wondered if he was becoming something hollow. Was he stronger now, or just colder? The climax came unexpectedly. A crisis hit, a financial misstep that could destroy the division. Someone had to take the fall. In a private meeting, Adler looked at Marcus and said, "We need a name. The board will demand it." Marcus realized instantly what that meant. He was the perfect scapegoat, talented, visible, expendable. He stared at Adler, the man who had taught him everything about control. "You're setting me up," Marcus said quietly. Adler didn't flinch. "I'm preserving the company. Don't take it personally. Everyone is useful until they're not." For a long moment, Marcus said nothing. He could have begged. He could have threatened. Instead, he stood, buttoned his jacket, and said, "You taught me well." That night, Marcus stayed in the office alone. He opened the confidential project files Adler had kept hidden, records of manipulations, falsified reports, quiet deals. He didn't hesitate. By morning, the evidence was on the board's desk. By afternoon, Adler was gone. Marcus was promoted a month later. His colleagues congratulated him, saying justice had been done. But deep down, he knew the truth: there was no justice. Only power shifting hands. Standing in Adler's old office, Marcus felt nothing. No triumph, no relief. Just silence. The city lights reflected off the window, 1,000 bright lights burning in the dark. He remembered one more Nietzsche quote, one he had ignored in college: "The abyss also gazes into you." Now he understood. Adler hadn't lost. He had merely passed the darkness forward. Marcus turned off the lights, letting the city's glow wash over him. He whispered to himself, maybe the ruthless don't win because they're cruel. Maybe they win because they're honest about what it takes. And as he walked out, the silence felt heavier, as if something unseen had claimed him, too. Psych Truth Zone. Power isn't evil, it's revealing. It strips away the masks we wear and shows what we truly value when the stakes are high. Nietzsche didn't glorify ruthlessness, he warned us of it. Because once you taste power, you don't just fight others for it, you fight the part of yourself that enjoys it. The question isn't whether the ruthless win, it's whether anyone who wins stays human.